But after today, man, they dropped to 5-5. You get a 4-game lead on them. The Chargers get absolutely just freaking their butt fondled with by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Shout out to Jaguars helping us out big time. Huge day, huge win in total this week for the Broncos. I'm gonna say, nah, man, we are absolutely a bona fide Super Bowl contender. Welcome back to another episode of the Broncos Avenue podcast. I'm your host, Amir Farrell, coach Evan Petruk. The Denver Broncos just had one of their best games in a minute, man. It was an incredible game from top to bottom. Offense, defense, special teams, lots to talk about. One of the games that I've ever felt like so much happier about. Even though we were 8-2 before this game, I never felt like this happy, like beating a team like this the way that we did. We're gonna go through all the good and the bad, but Evan, how are you feeling after the Broncos improved to 9-2?
I'm feeling great, man. Such a good win. Probably the best win that we've had since Super Bowl 50. So I cannot complain about that. I'm feeling great, man. It feels so good to beat the Chiefs as always.
Overall, what I loved today, I just want to start off first. The fans, man, they showed up today. Like, yeah, they always show up. There's very little, non-attendees, but there's very little no-shows. What I meant, but the stadium in general were just like, for the people that did show up, it was so fucking loud. Like literally the first drive, I was like, bro, it hasn't been this loud since like 2015. Like, it was so loud. Even the commentators who were absolutely just all over the Chiefs, bro, were just they were.
Yeah, man. Romo's really fallen off, dude. It's really sad to see. Like, there was one where he was talking about how Mahomes got like tackled or ball batted, and he said something like, "Oh, he's mad now" or something. Like, just cornball of the year award goes to Tony Romo, man. He's
Corny.
just such a cornball.
Yeah, I was just watching. Shout out to Cam Newton, the 4th-and-1, his 4th-and-1 with Cam Newton, and he was talking about like the speakers and like the quarterbacks' helmets, and like sometimes like it's really difficult. Obviously, when you see them going like this, they're trying to hear the play call that's coming in from their either the offensive coordinator or their head coach. And I guarantee, yeah, it was definitely hell for Pat Mahomes today, getting some of those calls in. So big shout out to Broncos country. If you were there at the stadium today, thank you for bringing that intensity. I feel like literally every time we play at home, I feel like 15-20% better that we're gonna get a W. Like, if we were playing a KC, I definitely thought we were losing. But yeah, big shout out, man. They actually opened up the playbook today. There was like maybe like 2 screens that I saw. I mean, big shout out to Sean Payton. The play calling like so much better, way more open up. Troy Franklin he had some bad drops for sure. There was the one where he like laid out and like it was the first quarter, one of the first few drives, and wasn't able to come down with it. I won't get too mad about that. There was the one though on like 3rd and 5 where Nix put it right in the money and it just hit his chest, dropped it. But man, when the game on the line, the most important, Bo Nix just dropping a 32-yard dime when I thought for sure they were just gonna run the ball and then kick that long field goal. So huge game from Bo Nix today. 24 of 37, yeah, for 295. Didn't throw any tuds, but if anyone's like criticizing his game in any way today, you just don't know ball, man. Like, this is a game where like it was always going to be close. These are 2 top 5 defenses going head to head. The fact that we even put up 22, you guys should be very happy about that. Especially after what we did in our last game against the Raiders. Just huge way to bounce back at home. You go into that bye week 9-2. I said in our last episode, if we come out of this game 9-2 against the Kansas City Chiefs, who I was just telling my friend the other day, like, they may be 5-4 before this game. I still look at the Chiefs as easily one of the best teams in the entire NFL. But after today, man, they dropped to 5-5. You get a 4-game lead on them. The Chargers get absolutely just freaking their butt fondled with by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Shout out to Jaguars helping us out big time. Huge day, huge win in total this week for the Broncos. I'm gonna say, nah, man, we are absolutely a bona fide Super Bowl contender. It's us and the Patriots, and I still don't 100% believe in the Colts to make the Super Bowl. It's us and the Patriots, in my opinion.
Yeah, Bo Nix, man, he's just got that dog in him. He wins the big games like this, like the Eagles game, coming back against the Giants. He's just, he's
He's got that
there's a lot
clutch
of
factor.
quarterback. Yeah, there's a lot of quarterbacks in this league that don't have it, and I know I'm going to get clowned for saying this, but I got to say it. Like Lamar Jackson, way better quarterback than Bo Nix, in my opinion. I mean, he's got 3 MVPs for a reason, or whatever, however many he has. But he doesn't win in big games when he needs to. He loses to the Bills this year, loses in the playoffs, right? Bo Nix wins these big games, and you can talk about how they lost to the Bills last year or whatever you want, but this year Bo has proven that it doesn't matter. He doesn't care about stats, and it just proves that he can bounce back from playing the worst game of his professional career to the best game of his professional career, almost one of them, even though he didn't throw a touchdown and broke the touchdown streak. Just played an all-around amazing game, was really good setting his feet, and just played a game like the elite quarterback that he can be.
Yeah, special teams as well looks like so much better. They waived Trent Sherfield, and he's no longer on the team. The special teams looks better without him. We had a blocked extra point attempt that eventually helped us tie up the game, and then eventually led to us kicking the game winner. And then Marvin Mims, like his 60-yard punt return, I think like his first or second return. I mean, just absolutely marvelous, as they like to call him. Um,
Yeah, man.
Jaquan McMillan, you talked about him, 2 sacks, 2 TFLs, 6 tackles, interception that completely flipped the game. That was an awful throw from Mahomes, but J-Mac went up and snagged that. So just a huge, huge game from him. Probably definitely his best game as a Bronco, better than that game where he had the pick six. So very pleased with him. We have a really good problem on our hands with Jahdae Barron, who we just drafted in the first round, who plays the same position as him. J-Max having the best season of his career, his young career, and then we also have Jahdae Barron, who's going to eventually become something special in this secondary. So
He had a good game today too. I can't believe they called that pick six back, if I'm being honest, which we'll get to. I want to talk about this officiating because I feel like they could have called a holding on every single play. And I've never felt that way about a game in my life. Like the whole first quarter, it was every single drop back for Mahomes. Benito was getting held like blatantly in front of the refs. I could not believe that it was like it's almost like they didn't call holdings, and they were holding every play, that they were only calling the ones that were so egregious that they would have gotten fined if they didn't call them, I think, because it's like they would have had to call them actually on every single play. It was brutal, man.
yeah, it's some bullshit. Like sometimes I swear I see them wait to see the result of the play before they actually want to call the flag. Like let's say it's a hold on Denver, but they just saw that we picked up like 10 yards. Oh, all of a sudden the flag's coming out. Like it's some bullshit. Like
Yeah.
I definitely think I don't think they were absolutely egregious, but like yeah, there were definitely some calls today that were just really bad. Wrapping up the good from today's game, Knicks' footwork looks so much better. Like even in the first quarter, you could tell right away. I can't remember who reported it, but they said that like internally during the Denver's 10-day break after that Raiders game, that he was like very, very frustrated with himself and how he played in that Raiders game, how his footwork looked so sloppy in front of the whole country. So clearly he took that personal and took it upon himself to vastly improve that coming into the biggest game of his young NFL career. So very, very pleased with that. I loved how they were also talking about like the offense's tempo. That was something I mentioned big time in our episode the other day. We're talking about how in the world do we fix this offense coming out of that Raiders game, and one of the big bullet points you and I talked about was the offense's tempo. Like it's got to be better. That's something that Bo Nix thrives so much off of, not only in his rookie year but at Oregon. Like a fast tempo offense, getting the ball out quick, dink and dunk offense. That's how Bo Nix. That's the basis of Bo Nix's game and what helps him set up the deep ball. And we even saw that today. Like the one at Troy Franklin should have been a completion. Another one at Troy Franklin. They missed. It was a blatant missed DPI. I know you know what play I'm talking about.
Yeah, he got held under his armpit. Yeah.
Should have been a touchdown. Bo Nix pun deep balls on the money today. But the reason I bring that up is because this short to intermediate game is what helps set up Bo Nix on these deep plays. Not every quarterback's like that, but Bo Nix is like that, and I think that's what makes a special quarterback as well. Someone who can really throw the ball everywhere. And I talked about that next gen stats passing chart. I feel like that's not very fair to judge Bo Nix off of. I think that's more of a schematic Sean Payton thing, as you mentioned. So, and we saw that in 4K today. Like there was just dropped deep balls where he was putting it on the money, like I mentioned. So, huge shout out to Bo Nix today. Dude, I'm so glad because it wasn't technically prime time, but everyone was watching this game. Like I saw Dave Portnoy tweeting about it, saying that the fucking refs were dog shit. So when like big names are like tweeting about that, like it was essentially a prime time game, and in under the biggest lights, Bo Nix absolutely showed out, 300 yards passing.
Absolutely, man. I know some other players I thought good. I thought Q Robinson looked good,
Yeah,
stepping up, and I want to talk a little bit about the that PI that you were talking about that didn't get called on Troy. I'm here to say this right now. If that is Riley Moss in that position, that is a flag 100% of the time. The first PI on Riley Moss was less egregious than that was. Now, the second PI by Riley Moss on 3rd and a million when they converted that was definitely PI. I'm not going to sit here and lie about that one. But that first one, if you're going to call that one, you have to call the other one. If you're not going to call either, then I don't care. But it's the fact that's the one thing I hate the most is one-sided officiating, and it was definitely one-sided tonight. As much as the Chiefs did get called on penalties, it should have been more because they were committing infractions every single time. And the one thing that I hate most about Patrick Mahomes is every play that doesn't go his way, he goes like this. Where's the flag? Where's the flag? I don't think I've ever seen Bo Nix do that once unless there's actually a penalty. And like the spotting was terrible this game. Like marking Bo short on that 3rd down run.
Bullshit.
Like what are we doing? And you can't challenge it because it's within 2 minutes. Like it was just weird. And I'm really glad the team overcame this because I would be getting clowned for just complaining about the officiating. But even in a win, I mean, something's got to give, man. That was just terrible.
Yeah, we pretty much touched on all the biggest like bad calls by the refs. One that I wanted to talk about. I personally, me, I know a lot of Broncos fans are gonna hate me for this and don't agree. The illegal contact on Riley Moss that erased the Barron pick six. I personally think it was I think it was illegal contact. He's past 5 yards and he's holding him back from running his route. I got into an argument with someone about that. I think it was definitely illegal contact.
I'm going to get in a little bit of an argument with you here then. Okay, so I understand that he's touching him past 5 yards, but if you watched his route, it's not impeding him at all. It didn't slow him down. He was touching him. And
I think
the fact
it was holding him back.
But maybe if Marquise Brown sold it a little bit more, it might have been better, but he didn't sell it. Like he was running through it and then he broke in. I just think the fact it was on the other side of the field, and I'm pretty sure he was touching him after it was already intercepted. That was like probably the worst interception. That was like a Will Levis level interception by Mahomes. Like that was bad.
They said it was like the worst of his career.
Oh, that was terrible, man. And it just sucks. Like, I mean, I see why it was called. I just don't think it's the right call. But because, like, if that's the opposite, are they calling that again? Going back to that, in that the game that's been officiated like that, if that's the opposite, are they calling that penalty? I don't think so. That's where, again, you either call it both ways or you don't call it at all.
Yeah, I think
that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I definitely see both sides to it. I definitely think he was affecting his route there, and like regardless if he had the interception or not, like that still it didn't matter like if he had the pick six or not. Like that's still gonna like take that play back. So whether it happened after or before the interception. So I don't know. Regardless, still won today. So yeah, I think just in totality, the referees, like they really need to be looked at. I've had some very harsh things to say, and I don't know if I've said it in the 1.0 chat what I think should happen to these referees, but I definitely shouldn't be saying it on this podcast.
I think we had like 123 yards in penalties.
Jeez. Yeah, it's crazy how we're 9-2, and like I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, we're leading the league in penalties, right?
And punts.
Wow. This defense is like stupid.
Yeah.
And for anyone who thinks, I don't know if this Denver defense can really, if this is a sustainable recipe for success down the stretch. I think it is. I think this defense could definitely carry this offense to a Super Bowl. The
I think
offense
if
just has
this,
to do just enough.
yeah, I think if this defense got more turnovers, they would be like up there, if not better than the no-fly zone. Like
Yeah,
the
for
only thing
sure.
that this defense gets, like slack for is not getting a lot of turnovers. But
Hufanga's
I mean,
dropped like 20 picks this year.
yeah.
Poor
Okay,
guy.
the one where it went through Rashee Rice's hands and then hit him in the hands, I'm not gonna
Yeah, it's
blame him
not
for
his.
that one. But like the one on Kelsey probably should have had. But
There was
and
another
there's a
one
couple
as
of
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like how are you gonna expect Rashee Rice to let that go right through his hands over the middle of the field? I mean, it still hit his hands, but I mean, I guess that's why he plays defensive back. But he played great. Man, the whole defense played great, except that one Riley Moss PI, but it didn't matter in the end. I thought Riley Moss played good besides the one PI call, and I think the other one was bullshit.
I still think that PI that was deep downfield was like very ticky tacky. I don't know. I guess we disagree
Like the
on
one
both of
where
those.
Marquise Brown like came back for the ball, or Taekwondo third. I
I
don't know
don't.
who it was.
I
The one
think
where
it
like
was the
it was
one.
like underthrown and then like went under his chest and he was diving down and Moss was like tackling him. I think that
Yeah.
one was PI, but the other one was like I have no idea how you're calling that. He gets his head around their hand fighting and they call PI because it's third down and
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
sets
the
them up on.
underthrown one was very ticky tacky. I thought that was
Yeah,
a little,
yeah.
but yeah, he's just got to be a little bit better with that. Like he gets a little too overly physical sometimes, especially deep downfield. But
And he's
it
also
is
white, so they're going to call it 90% of the time.
unfortunately true. Yeah, it's sad that we even have to point that out, but like it's literally PS2 himself said that. So before you call us
Yeah,
racist, PS2, who is an African American male, literally said that about his own brother, his own teammate. So I don't
yeah.
want to hear it. We
Maybe
literally been
racially
called
profiling is what he said, I think.
we literally been called racist on the show for the most BS shit. So I'm
Yeah.
just throwing that out there. Um, One last thing I want to talk about. We already talked about these two guys, but Pat Bryant and Troy Franklin. I know you're really high on Pat Bryant. A lot of people are giving Troy Franklin a lot of flack, but like, um, I don't even know how I would frame this question, but like, who do you want to see? Do you want to see Pat Bryant more featured in this offense than Troy Franklin? If you want to see Franklin get featured less, what would be your reason for why? Just simply the drops?
I don't think I want to see him get featured less. I think he really redeemed himself on that game-winning drive reception.
Yeah.
I'd just like to see him focus a little bit more at the catch point. He's not very good in contested catch situations. One thing that he's fixed a lot from last year, I mean, he's still doing it sometimes, but it's dropping the wide open ones. It doesn't seem like he's been doing that all that much. But I'd like to see him come down with it a little bit more contested, but I would love to see Pat Bryant get the ball more, man. I mean, look at what he was doing. He's just so crisp and always fights for that extra yard, and he's got reliable hands. He's amazing, man. I love watching Pat Bryant play football. And I was so worried when he got hurt, but it seemed like he just got winded. So
Yeah, he took a mean hit there. Talented separator. I think he honestly catches everything his way. That's a big thing we talked about coming out of Illinois is like I think he maybe had like one drop at college, if that. So like yeah, very talented. Got to get him more snaps. And thank you, Sean Payton, for answering our prayer of only giving Lil Jordan Humphrey like a couple offensive snaps today. I think I only saw
yeah,
him out there like once. So
yeah. They made sure to note it too on the broadcast. Here's Lil Jordan Humphrey coming onto the field. I was like, okay, that's now time for a 2-yard loss.
that is going to be all for today's show. Hope you guys enjoy. We will be back with more episodes this upcoming week, so stay tuned here on Broncos Avenue. I'm your host, Amir Farrell, co-host Evan Petruk. We'll see you guys in the next episode.